fascinating.
The what?
That blog from your Facebook post on your aunt.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
The story is incredible. Yes, it's not bad. Bless you. Are you all together? Love everybody.
It wasn't D?
For which one?
38.
What? D. No, why would you think it's demonstration?
Are you talking about 38? We thought it was
Because they're showing you how to do it, how to prepare. I think that's
To a specific group of people.
So you're telling me it's targeted?
I'm telling you they are doing a workshop to a specific group of people, urban gardeners. Yeah, and then 40 is implications.
Mike, yes.
What one are you on?
42.
You got 42 wrong?
I didn't.
I didn't.
My personal
You think A's right? You think D's right? Is B right? No, you would never try and slow down diffusion. If people are over adopting, do you want to get them to slow down? Oh, okay. What about C? There's some innovations like heroin and cocaine you don't want them to adopt. All right, that's interesting. What number was that?
42.
I don't know. 8 is my next guess.
What did y'all answer for 44? What were you? Why? Well, no, that's what it is. It's cooperative extension. No, a cooperative is a member-owned company. Why?
I don't think it'd be railroad. I don't think we would.
The FBI did.
Equipment.
The only one that would,
That's the only one.
Why is it not railroads?
here, but to think about it, probably because railroads used to be a big thing, like, you know, like in Ohio, like in that area there, Ohio, West Virginia, like they have a bunch of railroads, and that's like how they did the whole like coal mining is like through the. So I don't know.
And people came around to check your ticket.
Huh.
That's how extension people got around too. They'd go on the train.
They rode the train for the 100th year anniversary.
So the train, extension on the train stopped at all the communities and then showed, here's what a fat hog looks like, here's what a new dress looks like, here's what new cottonseed looks like. How'd we do? Done? Okay, what are we on?
We're done.
Okay, maybe since you guys are a little more efficient, maybe you want to talk about possible innovations for your group.
So I think they have more credibility. Okay, paraprofessional A is perceived to cause and more competence. And 47.
Do you know the difference between those two?
Safety is saying that you know that they're trustworthy. Competence is saying that you know that they're credible. So I don't understand how if a paraprofessional trades have more competence, so why is it not D?
Why is it not what?
D.
You're a teaching assistant. She's a teaching assistant. She's a paraprofessional. She knows less, but you might trust her more because she's more your age and she'll be honest with you.
But like,
Do I have them rearranged? Is the answer D?
well, I think I'm misunderstanding it in my notes because I put on here a paraprofessional is a change agent that's very similar to the client.
Yes.
So is it
Like
saying
she
that
is similar to you.
So is it saying that it's homophilous?
No. You've narrowed it down to D and E, right?
Yeah, but now I'm going back and forth. So
You've narrowed it down to D and E, and I just got to figure out which one it is.
so then why do I have in here that a paraprofessional is perceived as highly credible?
No. She doesn't know as much.
So I
But-
need to put not perceived.
Think competence as knowledge and safety as trust.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And to be honest, they don't know as much, but because they're one of us, we kind of trust them more.
Okay.
Where are we before we scratch? Last 147. What's consensus before you scratch?
Not bad. Not my worst one.
They're less what? So she's a paraprofessional. Tammy Grace is a paraprofessional. What is she less? Less educated. She doesn't have a degree. Is she cheaper? She's not. She makes as much money as I do, so she's cheaper. Okay. Is she better? In any way, maybe?
Wouldn't it be an opinion?
Well, is it possible that she's better? She could be better?
It could be.
Oh, so you think A, B, and C are all could be right, right?
Well, we got everything wrong on this quiz.
What did we call the people that worked on railroads that took tickets?
Ticket agent. I read that in the black book.
Yep, that's what you read. Okay, done?
Yes.
Okay, are you talking about possible innovations?
Yeah, we're starting a group meeting.
Done? Are you talking about possible innovations you might want to do? Done. Oh, you already know? Still scratching? Tallying. Okay. Well, until everybody's done, you might want to talk about possible ones you might want to choose. Trey, I haven't seen him.
So we should not include him in our project.
No, it's not your responsibility.
We only put his name on the slides. Like, I've never
You can't.
seen
It'd be kind
him.
of funny if you did.
I've never seen him, so I don't know.
He may drop, he may not drop.
Put his name on a couple slides. Like, all
Sure,
right,
I think that'd be fun.
this is your turn. You explain.
But seriously, there are people that are enrolled just for financial aid. I have no idea what his situation is, but sometimes people do that. They do that and collect it, and they go as long as they can and flunk as many hours as they can. I don't know his situation though. While you're talking, anybody want to?
Tastes like a sweet tea.
It's not bad. It's got a little apple taste to it.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to just walk one after this. I'm not going to ruin my meal.
Have more.
Can you have more?
Yeah.
Just try it. What do you taste?
Tastes a little like dirtier, I guess. Not
Dirtier?
Like it has dirt in it.
Oh, it must just the powder. It's not fully, but you should taste a little apple, and that's the
I can smell the apple.
yeah, it's the first ingredient.
My dad juices all the time, so this is
Okay.
like 10 times better than what he makes.
Oh, really?
Yes. A lot.
Well, there's some beet in this. Oh, you mean real beets or dry real beets? Mm-hmm.
So, alright. Answers. I might have to go there. I have a wedding in September.
Okay.
Done. Okay, everybody done? Okay, let's walk through these. 36. Anybody want to talk through? What? I'm sorry. 36 was easy. Yeah. Change agents are different lots of times than the people they serve. Okay, and so they're relatively heterophilous. Change agents 37 will get more adoption if they can get high quality adoption. And the concern there is, how do I get people to do a really good job of pushing this, whatever the innovation is? And so what happens is So as a change agent, you employ people, and then how do you know they're doing a good job? And so that is mystery client. Anyone familiar with that in another context other than here at this doctor's office?
It's like the hidden shoppers that go in and try to, like, customer service type thing. It's the same thing.
Yes. So you prevent bad experience like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman, right?
Sonic does it too.
Sonic does that. How do they do it?
They'll send people to go and eat there, and they rate them, but they don't know who they are.
That's right. You don't know. So if you don't know who you're serving, maybe I'm serving a mystery client, and I'm going to be evaluated, and I might get fired, or I might get promoted or raised based on that. So restaurants do that quite often. Clothing stores do that. Might we do that at the university? Who, in fact, here is the mystery student? You don't want to say. That's fine. That's fine.
Is it like Undercover Boss?
It would be, except the undercover boss is really cheesy. I mean, obviously there's a camera there. I mean, so if you're the diner, so if there's a camera always in my classroom, I figure somebody's an undercover student, right? Or a drug bust or something. As an extension educator for a workshop on urban gardening where I'm providing something to a specific audience, and then 40, I know somebody that has problems with their squash bugs, and so I contact them, and I am tailoring. Think of target as a shotgun. I'm shooting at a target, and I'm getting a big group. Tailoring, I'm doing a suit specifically for you. Right? Specifically for you. Okay? 39, a change agent. All those possibilities. There are some innovations we don't want people to adopt. There's some innovations we want to actually slow down. Again, I was wondering why I had two 41s. 41, change agent, we talked about this before. They sometimes mistake innovators for opinion leaders, but innovators don't have any followers. Nobody's following them. Okay? 42. We used to call them home demonstration agents. They would go into homes, or they did programs. They still do that. If you know someone that does extension, I do canning, how to do a canning workshop so that when you can your tomatoes, you don't die of botulism the next year when you eat them. We might teach how to make a dress. Your mom's family consumer science agent? 4-H development. We do the same thing with 4-Hers too, how to replant a tomato plant. 43, when compared to professional change agents, paraprofessionals have less knowledge, less experience, less credibility in terms of what they know, okay? But they have more trustworthiness, okay? And so here is the case. Cammie Grace is a paraprofessional, okay? She has less experience, less education, less knowledge, but she may have, for you, more trustworthiness because she's closer to your age, and maybe she's willing to give points where I wouldn't give points. Now, maybe. Are there other instances where there are paraprofessionals besides here in this class in front of you? Right?
Physician assistants.
Okay, physician's assistants, a licensed practical nurse. Maybe they don't know everything that a medical doctor does, but maybe you feel better about them because they've been a mom, or they're closer to your age, or they deal with this stuff all day long, to where I'd trust a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant over a medical doctor for a cold any day of the week.
My sister is a special ed teacher, so her Kara's not really a special ed, like a teacher, but she helps with the special needs.
Absolutely. In the classroom, we have teachers' aides all the time. Okay? Now let's take Chelsea.
Like on the softball team, we have girls that just graduated and come back and they're like GAs, but like they play softball and they help us coach.
Do they know as much as your head coach? Now, are they supposed to know as much?
No.
No. Do you trust them sometimes more? Yeah. Because they've actually played recently. Okay? Now, one of the problems, though, is we can overutilize those paraprofessionals. And let me use the example in extension. Extension, as we mentioned, as federal funding is going down the tubes. And so Extension is trying to do the same with less money. And one thing we can do in terms of 4-H is, well, instead of having to hire one of you as a graduate that's going to make $40,000 a year, why don't we hire an underemployed person in the town whose kids went through 4-H that we could hire for maybe $20,000 a year? We could save money. They would be cheaper. Okay, would they be better? Well, their kids went through 4-H here. They know exactly how we do stuff. Yeah, they could be better. Okay, what they don't know is they don't understand things at a higher level. And so in the short term, they might be okay. In the long term, it might be terrible. In the short term, we might be okay with this graduate assistant being the coach. In the long term, if they don't see the big picture, they may be worse. Okay, so try and think of competence as knowledge and safety as trust. Extension agents used to go around, traveled by railroad, and that's why we call them agents. They were like the railroad ticket agents. 45, anyone miss 45? Don't want to say? Okay. 46, Chicken Davis. All the chickens died a few weeks after he left. Why? They didn't have any resistance to native diseases. Okay, not again like Native Americans, which were given blankets laced with smallpox, didn't have any resistance. Remember from Guns, Germs, and Steel, didn't have any resistance, and so the easiest way to fight people is just have them die before you go into battle with them. Okay, what should have he done in retrospect?
Figured out what the indigenous diseases were and then tried to inoculate them.
Well, yeah, we have this kind of idea is we're here from the government and we're here to help you. And so I'm from the United States and I come in and say, oh man, you were doing this all wrong. What you need to do is modern production. And so we ship day-old chicks. They can survive for like 3 days. And so we can ship them on airplanes and they're there. And this is the feed that you need to feed them and this is how they do it. But he came with these ideas from some other place and it's hard not to do that. I sometimes tell the story when I was in Ethiopia about 10 years ago, and I saw kids running everywhere. Huge population under the age of 30. And I was working with a program that was trying to get women to own goats. Men didn't have any problems with women owning goats because the men just saw value in owning cattle. And I asked, have you ever thought of the kids owning something? Like having a 4-H project? And one of the elders in the one village said, well, I suppose that would be okay. Then when they needed books for school, we could sell them. And I was like, no, that's not how it works. The kids would keep the money. We're like, hell no, the kids aren't going to keep the money. Those would be ours. Okay? But I found myself being there 10 days, I had solutions to all their problems. What we need is we need Ethiopian 4-H. That's what we need. As if that's going to solve everything. And so it's easy to say, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's really hard when you go in and you see a problem and say, I got an idea. Why don't we do this? And as we said, they can be less, they can be cheaper, and they can be better. Okay. Thoughts? So we know the difference between tailoring and targeting. We know the difference between competence and safety credibility. Talked about mystery clients, talked about paraprofessionals. You can come back to your seats. Yeah, if you have a worksheet to turn in, now would be a good time. If you want a little shot of green juice, come on down. Ever seen a pig like this?
Yes, my friend.
Oh, they do. Okay, how do you pronounce it?
I have no idea.
They're ugly.
They're a woolly pig.
Yes,
Okay.
she raises them in Michigan.
Okay. They suggest it's the Kobe beef of pork. I'm not sure that's really true.
It's the Mangalista pig.
How do you pronounce it?
Mangalista.
Mangalista. And so they have hair that's curly and short, kind of like a sheep.
I was actually asked to AI one like about 2 weeks ago, and I had no clue.
Where could you get? They had the semen.
No, they actually want to crossbreed it with a Berkshire.
Okay. And so it's fatty. Okay.
But I've never seen that before. So when I walked up, I was like, what is
And you saw that it was furry. So there's if that's a boar, I don't know, something's wrong. That's abnormal, isn't it, Peyton? It shouldn't be. Anyway, he's got. Anyway, this is an article from Modern Farmer. It's from 2014. But then what's interesting, I think, is the comments. It's basically the people that read Modern Farmer. This person says, I'm interested in hobby farming when I retire. Been a professional all my life, and I'd like to do this. It's like, good luck. Okay, we'd like more information. This person wants to take the fleece and make a blanket, I guess. This person has some for sale. Here's my phone number. Where can I buy the pork? They're from Hungary.
Yeah, that's where her dad should be from.
Okay.
But they were just selling them on Facebook Marketplace the other day. Wait, what?
So,
Sorry.
well, so pasture raised. Some people suggest, Peyton, jump in here. Some people suggest that we've bred all the flavor out of pork. Okay, in making it more lean. Now it doesn't taste like anything. That's why you have to put barbecue sauce on so much. Okay, and some people want to go back to more heritage breeds and want to pasture raise. And this is another kind of heritage breed. An older breed might finish out at maybe about 13 months or 14 months. Like, I can't wait. I can't feed them that long. But they also might just let them run out and pasture and eat acorns and tear up all the ground and promote soil erosion and mess up your morel and mushroom patch and whatever. But who might be doing this in terms of category of adopters? Innovators might be doing it. Would any laggards be doing it?
No.
The only way they do it is if there wasn't any market for traditional hogs anymore. Early adopters, some people are like, hey, I'm interested. I want more information. An innovator, they don't need any more information. Oh man, somebody wants it, let's try it. Okay? And that's how we kind of see people. Okay? I know something else. What is it? Oh.
Now, do you know the Hummels for anyone?
The Hummels? Well, there's only about 4.5 million
Well,
people,
I know,
but
like he worked at Joliet, Hummels.
at the prison?
No, the college.
Oh, Joliet Junior College?
Yes.
No.
He was an animal science teacher there,
But
but
I-
he raises goats
No, I-
pretty heavily, and they do the Vanna cats. They're like exotic cats. You can't even go in with like the F1s. But we were talking to them the other day, and they bought some embryos from Argentina. They're the first ones that they're going to put them in America because they're supposed to be better than we do.
What
I can't think of the breed, but they're from Argentina.
when I would bring up things like that to my father,
Yeah.
he would say things like, why do you always want to do things easier? Because I'd say, and he was very skeptical of people that were innovators, and what he saw is they were always trying to get out of work. That's what they were doing. They want to make money the easy way instead of hard work. On the visor of my dad's truck, it had a saying that said, there's no record of a man having drowned in his own sweat. And some of you have heard them say this before. I swear if the neighbor was a mass murderer and chopped people up into bits and put them in a barrel, my dad would say, man, he really worked hard doing that. I bet." Hard work was like the most important thing. And I heard him say one time to my mother that I want my boys to understand the value of hard work. And hell, I think that's what like the most important thing was. Anything but that you worked hard. And again, nothing else seemed to matter. If someone went bankrupt farming, it wasn't because they were stupid and made bad decisions. It was, man, they didn't work hard enough, probably not. when I retire from teaching, one thing I'm going to miss is getting to just to share things that I have some interest in or come across. And so, do any of you watch the "You Suck at Cooking, Yes You Do" videos?
Bluehost makes it easy to take your wildest dreams to new heights. With exclusive WordPress plugins and themes, so you can create a website without limit.
This particular one has 2.5 million views. Okay. So if you're aspiring to be a blogger,
Bluehost, transcend the template.
You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck. Salad. I agree. It sounds boring, but this one's really delicious. This is a Napa cabbage, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this, we're gonna start breaking it down into its basic components. Now this is an okay size, but we're probably gonna wanna go one level deeper. Okay. You don't wanna go smaller than this size.
isn't that hilarious?
It's gonna smaller than this size, the texture, just not the texture you want in a salad. So we're gonna get this cabbage shredded. And what you wanna do is take an empty can. I'm gonna use a pecan here to put the cabbage screws in, which is not to be confused with a pecan, which is a type of nut. And you also want to confuse a pecan with a toucan, which is also a type of bird. And you definitely don't want to confuse that with a forcan, which is an invention I made that allows you to take a sip, I'm going to take a bite. This gives you a ton of leverage. You know, it's like one grip, one meal.
Stephen, isn't this right up your alley?
That's trademarked and copyrighted, so don't. The basic technique is you take your pecan and you poke a couple holes in it. I think it might be easier to chop.
So now it's really going to make it.
I've got a lot of criticism for how I'm going to chop my fingers off based on my technique. So basically, I'm going to try the technique they recommend. It's hard. End up with some amount of cabbage that looks sort of like this. A cup of bean sprouts, I'm going to chop them big, because my mom said to. We'll put those in the bowl. Some versions of this recipe call for mushrooms, so I just threw those directly in the garbage because the mushrooms are gross. And take some green onion. So we're going to take a cookie sheet. We're going to put our sliced almonds on there. And I can't remember how much sunflower seeds. Since we're going to broil these. If you've never broiled anything, all it means is that the burner on the top is on, so hot that it will burn your food instantly. Hey, I can already hear it sizzling. Not trying to brag, but those are looking gold. See that? Gold. One more minute and it's black. Let's get into the dressing. What we need is about a half cup of vegetable oil, we'll call that 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 teaspoons of white vinegar, you could use apple cider vinegar too, a teaspoon of sugar, and one thing that really makes this sesame oil. If you never own a bottle of sesame oil, make preparations for crotch explosion, because this stuff is made from...
Smells really good.
These really delicious seeds. How much is that? 1 teaspoon? Let's double that up. I love to overdo it and then regret it later. Let's go 3. And take whatever ramen noodles you buy and get the flavor pack out. I don't like veggie. I think veggie is probably the right choice and throw that in there. Taste it, change it. The only thing that matters is if you like it. Okay, so you're going to want to let the dressing sit for 20 minutes, make sure all those particulates dissolve. So I'm going to take the noodles. I struggled through this like a chump, only to get an email from my mom afterwards.
The other thing I forgot to mention, it's easiest to break up the ramen noodles when they're still in the package before opening it. Just smash it with your fist a few times.
Thanks, Mom. I decided to sort of test out this time-saving device I've been working on. It saves you all the mixing time. Just get it going. Oops. Hang on. Just get it going. Now let's do this manually, and here we go. Whoa. Okay, sorry, that was supposed to hit here. So that hits here, and that knocks, whoop. This, whoop. across. These are supposed to be here. Over here. Oh. Over here. Okay, that didn't go as far. So that's not even a thing, but it's supposed to hit. Okay, let's give it a nudge. So that comes. And then we'll just. Devin, you left your shoes and pants out here. Okay, that was supposed to hit a little harder. That jostles, that goes down, and then, so with enough force, that just comes down, and then, just that, and that's, whoop, should have started back here. Get a good swing in, and then hits this, okay, it's on a battery, I think. So basically, you just, that would knock that in somehow. Even just holding like the extra grip you get from the drill just makes it a lot easier. Anyway. Sense. So just mix it up. And then you gotta eat it now though. Like basically this is ready to serve, so like hope I'm hungry. You suck at cooking, oh my god, you suck at cooking, oh my god, you suck at cooking, oh my god, you.
Writing's not easy.
What do you think of that?
This sentence is grammatically correct. But if you don't know
The butternut squash one's pretty cool too. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful spring break. Tuesday, chapter 10, when we come back from spring break. More green drink here.